Welcome back to Update Day in Old School. Today we have a pretty massive update that is headlined by the Phosani's Nightmare returning, but that is honestly far from the biggest thing coming in this update, and we will touch on that in a minute. In order to attempt the Phosani's Nightmare though, you will have to have at least killed one of the original nightmares, and in order to access the Phosani's Nightmare, it is actually just a little trek north of where the current nightmare is, and if you drink from this pool, it will take you straight into the new boss fight. Now for the new rewards, there will be a parasite egg that is similar to metamorphic dust, and it will allow you to use it on your baby nightmare to transform it into a parasite version of itself, which honestly looks pretty sick. There is a new sleepy tablet that lets you upgrade your new Draken's medallion so you can teleport inside the Sisterhood Sanctuary, and regular drops and uniques have been updated to match the fight length and difficulty. Now for our first massive changes in terms of the equipment rebalancing for ranged, the bow of faerdhinen is in the game. I could have completely butchered that name, so forgive me if I did, but this new bow requires 75 range and 70 agility to wield, and it has the same attack range as the crystal bow, so decently far, and it will work the best with a full set of crystal armor. Its stats are 128 ranged accuracy, 106 strength, and the attack speed is 5 or 4 if you're using rapid. Just like the Blade of Salador, it will use 1 charge per attack, but you can corrupt it by using 2,000 crystal shards and give it unlimited charges. Now for the new enhanced crystal weapon seed, this is now the new drop from the regular and corrupted gauntlet. You no longer get just strictly the Blade of Salador drop or the bow, you will get the enhanced crystal weapon seed, and the drop rates are still the same, but once you get this weapon seed, you now have the option to either turn it into a blade or a bow. Now moving on to some buffs or nerfs we have, and the first one is crystal armor. Crystal armor across the board basically receiving a massive buff in terms of defensive stats as well as offensive range bonuses, giving it a much better chance to compete across the board, and we also have our first Blowpipe Nerf. The accuracy has been reduced to 30 and the strength has been reduced to 20, and all of these are also the following changes to the range strength of the darts, and the accuracy of all darts has been reduced to 0. Now coming into the game, we have the new amethyst darts, and these will require 50 range to equip. They will also have poison variants and a range strength of plus 28, sneaking them just past rune, but still trailing dragon by a considerable margin. Moving on, we have the new Shazian armor, giving it a little bit more use to coincide with the Blowpipe Nerf, giving it a little range buff across the board. The Armadillo's crossbow special attack has been increased from 40% to 50%, and the base chance for the bolt activation has been doubled. The Crystal Bow's range strength has increased to plus 78, and the Dragon Hunter crossbow's range strength bonus has reduced from 30% to just 25. Some other changes is the Odium Ward's range strength has increased to 4, the Dragonfire Ward's has increased to 8, Twisted Bucklers to 10, and HP from the Inferno mobs has been reduced by 5. And this also affects the healers at Zuck and the Rangers. Now for some of our Pool 75 changes. An absolutely loaded update week with plenty of new additions and little fixes here and there. First one from Pool 75 is the new colorways for the Blade of Salador. Go ahead and find Leon within the city of Prif and use one of these following crystals on the corrupted version of the Blade of Salador to have any of these new colorways. Some other changes is now for the Corporal Beast with no one in the cave. Corp will now heal 25 hit points every 7 ticks instead of fully healing instantly. But the boss will still full reset itself after 3 minutes of inactivity. The Imbued Skull Scepter can now auto-cast Crumble of the Dead on member and free-to-play worlds. And Weaken Spell Effectiveness has been buffed by 50% for players using the new Tome of Water. A small fix is the following NPC's bones will now work with the Bone Crusher, and that is the Chaos Elemental, Insatiable Bloodbell, the regular Bloodbell, Joker, and Jungle Horrors. Players can now toggle on-off the Dagonoth Bone perk from the Elite Fremi Diary. Bats in the Inferno can no longer drain combat stats if you are praying Protect from missiles. Zealot's armor now has a prayer bonus equal to Monk's Robe +1. The warning message for Barrow's tunnels can now be compressed into one text box by speaking to the strange old man. And we've added orange and blue recolors of the Sarachnis pet. Actually a big fan of that blue recolorway, not gonna lie. The Shooting Star XP rate has increased as follows. For a size 9, the current XP is 168, and that will be buffed to 244. A pretty substantial increase, honestly. but it definitely was necessary in order to make it more worthwhile considering the rewards. Now for the changes implemented regarding a Kingdom Divided, Death Runes now give 10 charges to the Ash Sanctifier rather than 100. Demon Bane spells now have a base 20% accuracy buff that increases to 40% when the Mark of Darkness is used. When the Mark of Darkness's effect wears off, a new animation plays reminding the player to reapply the spell. Offering spells from the Archaea spellbook now cast instantly and have a cooldown animation instead of a warm-up one. The scattering animation for Demonic Ash has been updated. The Giant's Den is now considered part of the Catacombs in terms of the prayer restoring effect. The swarms to the north of Piscarilius are no longer quite so aggressive, and Death Charge restores can now be used when you defeat the Grotesque Guardian. A special attack is restored with each death. A slight few changes to the client features, nothing really too special or fancy here, just a few fixes. But with that, after a very long-winded update, and honestly a very effective and well pulled off one by Jagex, got a lot done this week, a lot of things fixed, and a lot of new things added. Definitely a pretty massive update in Old School this week. If you guys did enjoy the video or found this helpful, there was a lot of info. If you have any questions, make sure to drop anything down below in the comments. But if you guys did enjoy, consider hitting that like button. It massively helps these videos out. And if you are not already, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.